guys, Sapphire Morningstar, and I'm here with a review of episode 7 of Siren, season 1. Alright, in this episode, it was pretty simple and kind of got straight to the point of the show. So we have two situations going on. As you remember last season, we know that the military is going out into the ocean to pretty much try to capture the rest of the mer people. Alright, so Ben ends up getting on a ship, the North Star, with his friend Xander, and he ends up rounding up the rest of his friends, and they go out into the ocean to try to catch the mermaids before the military do, right? So Xander's dad is on a boat just asleep, don't know what's going on until he wakes up. He feels the boat, like, wait a minute, is this boat moving? Yes, it is, Dad. Yeah, it is. So he gets up, he bring us back to the thing. You not ready? And so him and his dad have this little spat and stuff like this, whatever. And so it's so foggy out that they really can't see. So when the fog does lift a little bit, they run into the military ship that was out there. Now it's not actually like a military ship; it's a ship that a regular boat, fishing boat that the military sort of commandeered so they could try to capture these mermaids, right? And so they look in the boat like nobody's on here, so they go on the boat and investigate, and they notice there's blood everywhere, and they find this weird looking spear, right? And Ben is let's get back to the boat. I'm like, good idea. Okay, so they get back in the boat, and they trying to leave, and then all of a sudden these spears come out of nowhere, and Ben is they are watch out, and these spears just flying at them, shoo. And then one of the mer people jump on board, right? And it's the merman. So clearly, and if you see the merman versus the mermaids, they're completely different. The merman looks slightly darker. The females, they look like a grayish almost look, like a grayish dark look, and they have fins, little webbing on their hands, and their nose are long, and they have a stingray tail. Now I couldn't really see the tail of the male, but he looked like he didn't have a stingray tail from what I've seen so far. His tail looks like a regular mermaid tail, except on his back he looked like he would have I guess you would say it's I'm trying to figure what's a great description of something that's in the water that would look like. I can't think of anything right now. I can't think of it. It's in my head that I know what it is. I can picture it. I just can't think of the word. But it's they look like they would have armor compared to females. And that's an awesome thing I noticed is the females have a fin down their back. They're not where their spine would be. He didn't have any. So obviously that's some of the differences between the males and females. But they all have blue eyes, and they all have the sharp teeth. I'm like, ooh, yeah. I mean, you gotta rip stuff apart, So that's one of the things I noticed that was different about both the genders of the mer people is how they look at when they're in the water. So he's on board and he's getting ready to kill Ben with the spear, and then they shoot at him, right? So he's like, "Urgh." And so then he ends up going into that little hole thing that Donna was in the first time, and now he's on the ship. So he's like, okay, we're gonna go down there and get him, right? And so then they go down below deck. They end up trapping him in the door. I'm like, that is not gonna hold him. Especially Ben. Ben should know this already. You dealt with Ren and Donna already. You should know that door is not gonna hold them. Just saying. So, Chris and the other guys still up deck, and then we see Donna come on deck, and she's doing her siren song to get Chris to come down. And the other dude's like, Chris, move, let me shoot him. But I'm like, he's trapped in the song. So obviously, when they sing the song, they can. For what we're seeing with Donna is they can direct the song to a particular person, because the other dude, he doesn't hear it. Only Chris hears it. So it's obvious they can use the song as a lure a particular person, that could probably lure more than most people, but in this case she's just luring this one. And then the other dude fires off a flare, and then Donna jumps back and gets upset. Ben grabs Chris, and he sees that it's Donna, and Donna has a spear in her hand, and she gets her to stab him to death, right? And so then Ben knocks her out by releasing and then knocks her back into the water. So I'm like, whoo, that's a good thing. So she's back in the water, and so the other merman, he ends up getting out. Like I said, the door was not gonna hold him, and so he gets out, And everyone's like, where did he go? So they open the door, and when they become human, they're what's left is the tail, it sheds like a snake skin, so it shed it. And obviously, if they would have touched, it's gonna, disintegrate, so there's no evidence that mer people was here, which is pretty much a good thing, that they tail shed, so there's really no evidence that mer people were real, Cover your tracks. So we see Xander's dad. He's in the I think it would be considered the control room of the boat, and he ends up getting stabbed by the merman. And he calls for his son, and they run upstairs. They run back up that, and they're shooting at the merman, and oh boy, is he cute! Like this is the reason why it took me forever to try to do this video, is because I was searching on the internet for a picture or at least a clip of the mermaid. I could find nothing, not even on the not on Wikipedia, not on the Siren's Wikia page. Couldn't find anything. I'm like, nobody got a picture of this cute merman. Like, oh my god, like he is gorgeous. Oof, like seriously, if I would have saw that merman, I'm like, screw it, take me to the ocean's depth. I don't care. Take me, I'm yours. That's how I would have been. I'm like, screw it, take me, I'm yours. I will learn to swim. I will learn to breathe in the water. I will learn. I will learn. But anyway, we see him, and he's just, oh my goodness. Like, this is, oh god, oh, he's so, girl, so you start, girl, yes. Anyway, so then he jumps back in the water, so I thought that was pretty cool. So Xander's dad ends up dying from his wounds, and says, "Son, you're pretty much the captain of the ship." So they all trying to get that story straight, like what happened. So they do say, so the story is they're going to just say his dad died at sea. So obviously with Xander, because he was already obsessed with just trying to find a mermaid, that's just have for proof. But now since one of the mer people have killed his dad, now him finding them is going to be instead of just trying to find proof. Now it's going to be an act of vengeance, which is going to cause problems because according to the promo from next week, they sound like they're hinting at Xander might find out that Ren is one of them is a mermaid. So obviously that will cause some sort of friction between Ben and Xander if Xander would find out like really dude, so you knew you had this mermaid with you the whole time. So that's gonna cause a lot of friction. So that might happen next episode. So the other situation that happens is Ren. If you remember last week's episode, Ren got caught by the officer. So the officer takes her in, and Ren, she don't know what's going on. Poor thing. Like, I just want to you to see her. You just want to hug her. Like, you just want to hug her, but like, it's okay, Ren. It's okay. I won't let anything harm you. Like, that's what you want to do with Ren. You just want to protect her. Like, you can't help it. You just want to protect her from everything in the world. Anyway, so they put her into the jail cell, and they thinking, she's like on some drugs, on like a dope fiend or something. They like, whatever drug she on, she's strong. She's like, Jesus. I'm like, honey, that is not a drug. So, the sheriff, he goes and questions, Ren, and of course Ren don't know the whole, justice system of human being, of humans, because she's a mermaid, so how they handle their justice thing is probably just kill and be done with it. I mean, she is more animalistic in how they behave, so she don't know what all is going on. So he's showing her pictures like, was it you? And she's like, yes. He's like, okay, what happened? He's like, we got in the car. Okay, he's like, okay, what happened next? The car moved. I was like, oh, she's so precious. She's so precious. Oh my god, I love you, Red. So anyway, so he's like, okay, because he doesn't believe it, because like if you look at Ren, then you look at the dude that she killed, he's like, there's no way in the world you did this by yourself. I'm like, yeah, she did. She did. So he's like, who helped you? She goes, Ben and Maddie. He's like, wait, what? Ben and Maddie helped me. I was like, now she doesn't know that, because she doesn't understand what's going on. He's asking, who helped you kill the person, but she just understands she's not help. So she's thinking like, oh, he must be like helping, like, me doing whatever I need to do. So she's like, Ben and Maddie. I'm like, So Maddie gets brought to the police station. So her dad's trying to get her to confess, like, we made a pact, remember? And he's like, you lied, you broke that pact. So she goes to see Ren, and Ren, knows, like, she's like, Maddie, he's like, help me. And she's like, it's okay, Ren. Because, Maddie trusts I'm not Maddie. Oh, why I keep saying that? Ren and Maddie, God darn it, I keep messing it up. Ren trusts Ben and Maddie. Ren trusts Ben and Maddie, so of course, when she sees Maddie come in, she's like, okay. So Maddie ends up telling her daddy the truth. And so her daddy's like, please don't tell me you're on the same drugs she on. Because, that probably would sound crazy to tell your parents. You tell your parents, like, she's really, because she goes into, because her daddy is an indigenous, American, a Native American, and then, in various tribes, everybody has their stories. If you look at, any culture around the world, there's always, like, these stories that a lot of people don't believe because you're like, oh, they're just stories, they're just myths, they're legends and stuff. In this case, in his tribal situation, his peoples, they have a story about, these water spirits or shapeshifters, people that take shapes, specifically water ones. So he's like, looking at his daughter like, those are just stories. She's like, no, Dad, they're not. So then he goes and gets some ocean water because they have a fish tank in the sheriff's office, and it's, ocean water. It's not like chlorine water. No, it's ocean water because we know that's the only thing that's going to actually affect Ren. If it's regular like water or chlorine, it's not going to affect it. It has to be the ocean water, salt water. So he takes like I think it was like the coffee container thing that you use, if you make your coffee with. So he takes, something that gives to Maddie, and Maddie's like, Ren, we have to show him, okay? And she got warned, because as we've seen before, when they turn into mer people, they tell so is a painful ass process. Oh my God, even when I think about it, kind of like that little, I feel itchy. And so she pours it on her hand, and he sees her hand transform, and he's like, what the? So he ends up letting him go, and I guess that would be his deputy. I think that's what that female cop is. I think that's his deputy. She's like, you just let them go? He's like, yeah. It wasn't her. Let it go. And she's looking like, really, Sheriff? I'm like, honey, let it go. You don't want to get all up in this. But I don't know if she's gonna let that go, because I have a feeling that officer is not gonna let it go. She's gonna try to find information, how to find out what's really going on for herself, and that's probably gonna end up getting killed. I don't know. I just got that feeling about that. You know what I'm saying? And then of course we get back to Decker. Now I'm trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out why he was so obsessed with Donna. So now I know why. Okay, so we know when they sing the song, it kind of gets stuck in your head, right? Okay. Ben, we see how Ben is. His obsession is with more of protecting Ren, which we could kind of see if you watch the episode. It kind of is causing a little slightly friction between Ben and Maddie, but I don't think it's that strong enough to break them up as a couple. But we will see with Decker is he literally listens to the song. Like, he has it recorded on his little iPad or whatever, and he listens to it. I'm like, maybe that's why he's so crazy, because he's constantly listening to the song. Because we know it already puts him in a trance, but with him constantly listening to it, it's probably just making his obsession, obviously making his obsession worse. So he is getting a call from the Admiral, and he's like, we haven't got a call from the ship that we sent out. And so he's like, come back here immediately. So they end up going to the ship. They find out, obviously, the people are dead. So he's like, so is this why he was trying to call us? He's like, yeah, I was trying to warn y'all. Y'all was trying to come out here and try to capture them. Not realize, you understand, these are dangerous creatures, especially when you're trying to capture them in their territory. They're going to be strongest in the water. Y'all stupid. Is basically what he's saying. This is your fault. Don't try to blame this on me. This is you. All you, homeboy. And that is pretty much all for episode 7. I am really loving this show. It's episode 7, so we have 3 more episodes to go. Episode 8, 9, and 10. Well, I have a feeling what might happen in these last few episodes. Obviously, there's going to be friction between Ben and Xander, because I feel like Xander is going to find out that Ren is the mermaid. It's going to cause an issue. We already know that the daddy finds out through Maddie that Ren is a mermaid. So I'm not sure what that storyline is going to go. I don't know if he's going to try to help, or if he's going to probably go read more on the tribal stories. Not sure. We haven't seen Helen in this episode, so I'm not sure what's up with Helen. But obviously, she's probably gonna return in the last three, so we're gonna probably see more of Helen. Decker, I have a feeling Decker, due to his substance, he's gonna end up probably being dead by the end of the season. I think he's gonna die. I think Donna is gonna eventually kill him. The situation between Ren and her sister Donna, I think they'll find some sort of common ground, but when it comes to their view of people, it might change. I think if Donna sees Ben and Maddie, I'm guessing in a selfless act of saving Ren, or her and her sister, I think that might change her viewpoint of human beings, that she might become more trusting of specifically of Ben and Maddie. That's what I'm thinking. Like something's probably going to happen to Ren, and Ben and Maddie will save her. That changes Donna's mind. Xander, with his obsession with trying to find his murder, it might get him injured. It might get him killed. He might end up trying to kill all the mer people due to his what happened to his daddy. But I'm thinking by the end of the season, it's definitely gonna cause some friction between his friend, and he might end up going on this whole kill all mer people thing, unless he gets a change of heart and sees that not all of them are bad, and he understands that they're at this point they're on all the mer folk are on the defensive because their food is gone and we got people literally trying to hunt them down to extinction. It's like so I think maybe that might happen. Maybe that's just my thoughts of what might happen. What else? I said Decker, bit of Maddie, Randall, Helen. With her, what I think might happen is we might get a little more about her story and how how she's on land this long. Maybe she had something to do. Maybe she was a child of the genocide that happened years ago. Probably, and maybe if we do, maybe we find out exactly how long do mer people live. Also, I have a feeling we'll be seeing that merman again. I have a feeling because it was him and Donna attacking the ship. So either he's a friend of theirs or maybe he's a brother. Maybe he's like their brother. Because I could see that happening. He's their brother. So that is pretty much what I have. My ideas of going on into these last three episodes of the season. So far, I haven't heard anything about if they got renewed for a second season, but I will be keeping a lookout for that, and any information I find on that, I'll probably post in my blog, on WordPress, or on my Twitter page. So comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time for the next review of Siren. My next review will be on Infinity War. I'm gonna wait. I want to wait probably another week before I do a review, because when I do my reviews, I'm telling you everything, and also, and a lot of people have seen it yet because still out. So I'm gonna wait probably one more week before I do a spoiler review. So that should give people time, to see the movie, and also need to do my own little research in terms of the Infinity Stones and everything else before I do my video. So again, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye.